everybody, I'm gonna do something that's gonna up your brunch breakfast game. It's kind of fun. So we're gonna do egg whites, and I'm gonna like basically souffle them up in a way. Just basically gonna whip them up. So always start with a clean bowl. When you're dealing with egg whites, whether you're making desserts or anything like that, if you're gonna whip them, make sure that the bowl is clean and make sure there is no yolk, because that fat will kind of prevent it from fluffing up or actually getting the air incorporated, because any fat will bring it down. So I've got 4 whites here, and we're going to, okay, so I'm gonna separate these out, just crack the shells in half and just do that. We're gonna get all 4 of them into the nice clean bowl, just like that. All right, here's the last one. Making careful not to pierce the yolk. There we go. Okay, in a bowl. Next, get my hands clean before I touch that salt. Okay, salt just enough, like I'm saying, just pretend like you're seasoning 4 egg whites, just like that. And then with my handy dandy mixer, we're gonna get this started. Turning that on. Okay, so another trick is to get the egg whites to room temperature. Kind of even when you're doing desserts, you want the eggs to room temperature because they'll help in their volume. The salt also helps break it down to kind of get that going. So this is almost double the volume. And you can also use, I mean, you can use your hands, but that will take a long time and maybe hurt. And so there we go, nice and whipped, just like that. So then next, I have my non-stick pan, hot over here. And I don't want it too hot unless you want it to basically get a little color on the bottom. A little bit of oil, I'm using like avocado. You can use olive oil as well. And then now I'm just going to put that in there, just like that. So you see how it kind of souffles in like that? I also have the oven preheated to 350, I should have said in the beginning. And then now, as, see, it's gonna get the bottom. I'm just gonna shape it up a little bit, but you see it's kind of, you know, formed. It's kind of firm. We'll do that, maybe I'll even this out a little bit, make it nice and clean looking, just like that. And then, as the bottom's set, because I have it on not too high, like I said, if you want a brown bottom you can, then I'm going to put it, make sure your pan is oven safe, in there for a few minutes just to cook off the top. And in the meantime, we're gonna do a little topping, because if you put something on there, obviously as an omelet or a frittata, it's gonna deflate. So we wanna keep that nice looking texture while it's setting, and then put your favorite veg on there. So I'm gonna so I'm gonna dice a little tomato, take the seeds out, the wet seeds, just pull that out like that, and then just give it a little quick dice, just like that. And then I'm going to put that with some spinach and saute it in a pan. Get a few more of those going, just enough to get a little bit of vegetable on there, you know, because it's just egg white right now. But you can put your favorite thing on there. If you're going to do some cheese and melt it on, I would put it on now, on top of it, and that would be a nice melt while the egg is cooking. And then, but meanwhile, while you're doing this, so, you know, you're trying to do 2 things at the same time, so you have it all ready when it's done. So we're going to, that looks pretty good for the top. And then I have my pan ready. A little olive oil. Turn that up a little bit. And then we're going to saute those up. Just take a little bit of that. And we'll go right into here. A little bit of salt. And let that cook a little bit. And then I've got some baby spinach here. Saute that up too. Wolf that all down. It looks like a lot of spinach, but as you well know, that it cooks down to nothing. But it wilts down to very little. And then we'll do that. A little bit of black pepper here. You can add some garlic too if you'd like. I'm just going to keep it really simple just for this video, just to make sure that we got a little something in there. And then we'll check on our frittata in a second. Okay, so this is about done. Check the seasoning, and so you just want it just like that. And then I'm going to put it on this paper towel because there's so much liquid that comes off and you don't want all that liquid on top of your egg. Let that go like this. And then it's been about a few minutes, so I'm going to grab a towel. It's been about, let's say, 4 minutes or so on this. And as you take a look, it'll poof up. And then you see it's kind of solid like that. So I'm just gonna make sure it's not sticking. Let that rest for a second, and I'll show you that. Okay, cool down a little bit. You can take a tip of a knife and test it, or a cake tester, just to make sure it's cooked through. But that was about, let's say, 5 minutes for 4 egg whites. So you got that side, you can do that. Or you can keep it nice and fluffy and white, which I just did that. Center that out a little bit. It is delicate because it is souffled a little bit, but just like that. And I'm going to take my vegetables here. I'm gonna add a little bit. So I'm going to top this with this nice little veg and just a little bit scattered around, just give it color, and then you can eat that just like that. With the red and green, but plus tomato and spinach work really well. Like I said, if you did some cheese, you can crumble some on top. If you're doing a feta or a Parmesan now, if you wanted to melt it on, you can do a softer cheese grated on top, just like that. And just spread that around a little bit, get a little love for each piece. If you want the crispier side, you can do it, or conversely, you know, flip it around very gently because it is air, puffed air in there. Basically just incorporate into the egg, so it is slightly delicate, not super delicate, but it's kind of a cool little way to do that. Okay, so I found about this truffle sauce, this truffle hot sauce actually, because when I did my So Matcha, which was a matcha drink, we worked out of the same warehouse that the Truffleist is, and Jimmy's the owner, really nice guy, and so we're gonna try this on top of it. I've tried this before, obviously. They were doing it in Bryant Park. I'm not sure now with everything going on with COVID. There we go, and then we're gonna break into that. I got that now, you know, we gotta check it all out. See, it's nice and fluffy. The top is cooked, but still tender, you know what I mean? It's still got that nice cream, even the bottom's cooked. There you go, see? Nice cooked egg whites. Delicious. Texturally, it's a little bit different because it's fluffier and you can kind of get that air in there. Just a little softer on top. If you do want to cook it a little more on top, you can actually, I would suggest using a broiler if you have one. Give it the top heat just to give it a little more cook. I tend to like it like that, like it is 100% cooked, a little soft, and a little crisp on the bottom if you want. If you don't want as much crisp on the bottom, then just go lighter heat and just fold it in there. Another thing is, people have been always asking about this shirt. I'll put a link in there. This is one of my designs that I did for my t-shirts, Ego Coco, so take a look at that. So, if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content, and please comment anytime if you want to see some more stuff, or just say something nice. All right, bye.